And thinking back, that is kind of heartbreaking to me because I really... Guys, I need to start with an apology. But firstly, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so sorry. Where have I been? I got into a really consistent habit of posting here on my YouTube. I feel with every return to YouTube, I come with a new lease of life, a new phase of life, a new era for myself. I guess we're all going through eras. We're always going to be in a new era. And this era is currently my favourite. I hope you're enjoying your current era as well. But if you're new here, hello, it's great to have you. If you're not new here, then I hope you accept my apology, but welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lauren. I am what you would call a hybrid fitness girly, and I am an online coach. I also coach group classes in person, and I'm also a content creator. And with the new year is a new fitness season, a new lease of energy to achieving some goals. And I'm obsessed with how much people are loving training for performance and entering into races and not seeing it as something that is intimidating or unachievable, but seeing it as something that's exciting, that's gonna help push them. And for me, it's something that's given me so much purpose and motivation and community as well. And basically all of that inspired me to create this video today. I'm gonna take you through my fitness journey because I was reflecting on it the other day and I hadn't even pieced some of it together myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know when the pieces of the puzzle are just connecting and it's like everything just makes sense. And I thought, I used to talk about my fitness journey a lot when I started creating content, and it's not something that I've done in a while because I've kind of transitioned more into this coach era that I've been in, educating and coaching people. But sometimes it's the stories that can be the most valuable to people, and I really want to bring that back to my content because I see value in it myself. Even just me reflecting on my own journey has been so valuable to me, and I encourage you to have that reflection for yourself as well. It's not too late to set your New Year's resolutions, your New Year's goals, reflect on the previous year, years, etc. In January, I think we should always be reflecting. But with that said, I'm going to take you through what has been my fitness journey. So bearing in mind, guys, I am the ripe old age of 27 at this point. It is January 2025. I am going to take you from start to finish, 27 years of fitness. Now, I'm no athlete, guys. I was into my sports as a kid, but I wouldn't have said people would have pointed me out as that athletic girl. I was probably more the competitive girl, but I grew up doing every single sport that I could try. I did trampolining, I did netball, I did Irish dancing, I did dancing, I did football, I loved rounders, but just did that at school. I honestly, guys, did it all. And my main sport, however, was this very American sport called baton twirling. Not sure if anyone knows what that is. Let's get a little picture up to show you me. But a bit like dancing, you're in leotards, you've got this thing called a baton, which you can see in my hand there. That little thing, it's a metal stick with two rubber ends, and the black bit that is down the middle was just some tape that you'd put on so that it would roll on your body a bit better and not be a freezing cold metal bar. But that was my sport. I got into it through a friend, and it was unique, it was different, and I really liked that about it. And there was a real community around baton twirling where I grew up in Leicester. I did that sport for years, and I loved training for it. I loved my coaches, I loved my friends that I train with, I loved going to the competitions, I loved trying to get through to the next round of competitions to then go to nationals. It was a real exciting journey from start to finish for me, And I wouldn't have said that I was particularly good at the start. I wasn't a child that was gifted in the rhythmic department or the posture department. I was pretty stiff. I stuck at it and I eventually got pretty good at it. And it was all thanks to just me being persistent, consistent, and having a great coach and a great team. And it was at this young age that I subconsciously realised that importance of a team and saw the value in the girls that surrounded me and having that mentor, that coach that I looked up to, that I respected, that I would try to impress. And me and my friends kind of went from being this average group of baton twirlers to winning at national level, and to go through that journey is honestly incredible. And I think back my time as this baton twirler and I just am so proud of myself because I think I learned a lot from that. And I don't think I realised at the time how much it was truly teaching me, because I was going to school as well. I was a very studious kid and a lot of focus was put on my studies being the most important thing in my life. But actually deep down, I think it was baton twirling. But I made some incredible friends through baton twirling. They're still my best friends to this day. But in short, I got good and I started to win national titles. So I came across this post on my Facebook the other day. I mean, look at her. Who allowed me to do my makeup like that? I do not know. But it doesn't matter because I was over the moon. Like, that was the best day of my life. I've got a sash that says BBTSA national champion. I've got my baton in my hand and my trophy in my other hand. That was the first time that I know that was the second, because I won it twice in the same day after training for years and years and years. I'm pretty sure I did it for 10 years and I didn't win anything. And then, and this was the 29th of March 2013. So over 11 years ago now, I won national champion for the first time. There is me on the podium. And then I won it a second time in a different category on the same weekend. So I think that to me early on just showed me that if you stick at something for long enough, you are going to succeed, you are going to achieve the outcome that you want. And I don't think that has ever left me to this day, even though I never talk about it. But that was a huge part of my childhood. And then around the time that I started studying for my GCSEs, I started seeing boys, I started focusing more on my appearance, as you do as a young girl. I got a bit insecure. I didn't want to be prancing around in little leotards. I felt a bit silly. I felt a little bit chubby. And because I got told that going to a really good university is the most important thing for me at the time to get a good job, I quit baton twirling and I focused completely on my studies as well as seeing boys and going out a bit. So my mental health eventually, as you can probably imagine, started to plummet because I'd had this incredible team. I had so much purpose given to my life through sport that I just completely tossed away, and things started to get tough for me mentally. And I think going through that time anyway is tough for anyone, but to have given up my sport at the same time made it even harder. So yeah, fitness exited my life. I wanted to be an astronaut and I was studying to get into a university to study astrophysics, which had become my number one goal. And around the same time, when I was about 18, I met my now current boyfriend slash partner, what do you call it? Stone. And he was a rugby player. And to me as a young girl, that was very attractive. But I was going through this phase where I was just massively insecure and I just thought he was way out of my league. I could never get him. I was honestly head over heels obsessed with him from the second that I met him. I thought he was the most gorgeous man I'd ever seen walk planet Earth. And then I guess I made seeing him my goal. I wanted to be his girlfriend. I wanted him to be my boyfriend. And I set my mind to that. And I guess you guys know how that story ends. But, and here's a picture of us when we were eventually together. He was playing rugby for a top level academy in the city that I'm from, which is Leicester. Leicester Tigers, if anyone knows that. And so he was going to the gym regularly. He was looking after himself. He was eating a high protein diet. He was introducing me to all these things that I'd never heard of or never seen before. And I wanted him to like me. I just thought guys like skinny girls. So I started going to the gym. I would go on the machine that burnt the most calories for as long as I physically could, which was the elliptical. And I still have PTSD from that machine to this day. But I was trying to burn the calories as quick as I could. I had prom coming up as well, and me and Stone weren't official by this point, and so still cripplingly insecure. And I decided that I wanted to wear this tight bodycon white dress to prom. I wanted to feel more confident for prom, so I thought I need to lose a bit of fat. And me and my friend were talking about how we're going to lose a little bit of weight for prom. We had 2 weeks. We needed to do something and we needed to do it fast. And there was a girl at college that had lost a lot of weight that we'd observed, and we'd see her running around after school as we'd be walking home. And so we put 2 and 2 together and assumed that we also needed to run to lose this weight. So we went to a little grass loop near us and we started to run, and I didn't even get 5 minutes in. I think I got about 1 minute in and I was panting. I sounded like I had asthma and it was a horrible experience. We gave up, we went home, and I felt so hopeless and unfit, and I'd never felt so unfit in my life because Baton Twirling had always been really intense. The routines that we do were really intense, and so that had kept me fit, and all of a sudden I realised that I was so unfit and I just felt so hopeless. So I gave up on everything and just decided to accept my fate that I wasn't going to be feeling myself too much for prom. I mean, I looked quite sweet in the dress, and not to say that I'm big, because I definitely wasn't, but I do remember airbrushing that picture so that you couldn't see the bulge in the belly area, and that picture is 100% airbrushed, so I couldn't find the original one. But yeah, I would airbrush my legs, my belly, on all the pictures as well, and then I would delete the non-airbrush ones, which is why I can't find the original pictures. But you guys get the gist. I was pretty insecure. But eventually, Stone and I ended up making it official. And then he moved to France for rugby. I went to Durham for university. We entered our long distance relationship phase, and going to a new university was exciting, but also a huge change. And I found it quite hard to fit in there because I went to Durham and there was a lot of students there from London, and a lot of them knew each other, a lot of them had gone to the same schools, a lot of them were private school, and I didn't feel like I gelled with that many people that I was around. I did find 2 of my best friends still to this day, but there wasn't many people that I really got on with. But I thought this is what I needed to do. I needed to put myself outside of my comfort zone for growth, to progress in life. There's no point just keeping myself around the people that I've always been around, and I guess in a lot of ways that is true, and it's probably taught me a lot of things than if I'd gone to a uni with I was already friends with. But I was seeing Stone and I really envied how he had a rugby team. I thought I really miss my team, so I was like, I'm gonna go to the Freshers' Fair, I'm gonna find myself a team to join, I'm gonna find myself a sports team that I can be part of, because I just miss having a team and working towards something together. So I ended up starting cheerleading and I absolutely loved it. Like, I 100% had found my tribe. There was older girls in the team that I really looked up to. They looked after me. I just was in love with cheerleading, and again, it was more down to the fact that it was the community that it brought me rather than the sport itself. But I guess I did love the sport too. And there was this one girl that I really admired at my cheer team. She was strong, she was athletic, her legs looked really nice and muscular. And I remember telling Stone about her, and he suggested maybe trying out the gym if I wanted to develop my strength and be a bit more strong like her. And I knew that she went to the gym. So Stone then wrote me 2 gym programs with pictures, with sets and reps. And I still have them in the notes on my phone to this day. I said I wanted to lose my bingo wings and I wanted to get massive quads. So he made this. This is the bingo wing program. I don't know if I can find the legs. Lower. Just found it from 2018. It's a pretty solid program, you know. Warm up and movements. I mean, not bad. He sent me on my merry way to the gym and I never looked back since. I started with those programs and then I graduated on to just following gym workouts from Instagram. Quickly, I thought I knew absolutely everything that came with going to the gym. Little did I know, I had a lot to learn. But I had fallen in love with the gym and it really complemented my cheer training because you need strong arms, strong legs to be a good base, which I was. And everything just felt really positive. I mean, at the same time, I was also studying a physics degree, which was really quite difficult for me. I ended up transferring over to do maths, but my degree was a bit of a blur and definitely not my focal point of university. My cheer team and my friends are the most important things that came out of university for me. And training with the cheer team and going to comp was just the best thing. And we won 2 years in a row, or 3. But I progressed from just being a fresher in the team to being social sec to then being cheer captain by the 3rd year. And again, I don't think I realised what it was teaching me at the time, but it taught me how to coach people. I had already done a bit of coaching for younger girls when I was back and twirling. But I just loved helping other people. I loved helping them through fitness and community. And I wanted to help more people. So everyone started doing this thing on this social media platform called Instagram. People were sharing their fitness journeys and there was the likes of Grace Fit and Whitney Simmons and the Gymshark girls that I followed at the time and I saw what they were doing, and Grace was also at university and I thought, if she can do it, so can I. So I started up my own fitness Instagram and at the time I thought, am I a bit too late, you know, on the bandwagon here? But I persuaded Stone to create a private fitness Instagram with me and we would both share our food on there to each other. So we could only see what each other was posting. And his account is still on Instagram. I pulled it up the other day. It was so funny to see the old pictures. But what was a private account then turned into a public account after my 2 best friends at uni encouraged me to take it to the next level and to share my journey a bit more widely. And I just started sharing fitness content online, just trying to inspire other people to get into the gym, to get into fitness, because it had given me so much personally and I wanted to share that with more people and I wanted to inspire more people. So I remember getting this camera that I was going to use to start my YouTube channel when I finished university. So I finished uni and I started to post on YouTube. My following grew by 50,000 in the space of 2 months of leaving university, and largely I think they were men. Posted a lot of HIIT circuits by the pool, but I mean, followers were followers back then. So I was doing a lot of HIIT workouts. I was still training in the gym, but HIIT workouts were the kind of thing that people were doing at the time to lose a bit of fat. So I was kind of, in between doing gym workouts and HIIT workouts. And between the time of me going to university and then leaving university, Stone had gone from living in France to Italy to then Manchester. So leaving university, I kind of wanted to move in with him. We'd been together for 3 years at this point, and it felt like the mature step to make. However, reflecting back, maybe it wasn't the best thing to do, but I moved in with him and got a job in finance because I'd done a maths degree, and I thought, this is what I need to do. No one had really advised me otherwise. No one had even dabbled with the idea of training up as a personal trainer and pursuing this Instagram thing that I was doing at the time. I went into qualifying to become an accountant. I definitely don't regret anything, but I do sometimes wonder how things might have been different if I'd just pursued it back then. But I think going into finance and going to accountancy and working for the Hut Group, which is the company that owns MyProtein and Look Fantastic, and everyone that worked there was very young. It was a great way to make friends in the new city I was living in. I think it definitely gave me a lot, especially in terms of friendship and lessons. You get given a lot of responsibility there. I was working 9 till 6 every day, usually more, and then I was going home and studying every night. And then I also had 5 hours of tuition every week for my accountancy exam. So it was a lot, and I was still going to the gym regularly. I was trying to keep up my socials, but my socials did start to slip because that did have to take the back burner with work. Kind of fell out what I was doing on Instagram, and I hit another slump, really. My second slump since when I quit bat and twirling. I'd now left uni and lost my team again, which was my cheer team, and I was back to being solo. And again, reflecting on it, I didn't know that it was the team thing that I was missing at the time, but it is obviously very clear that having a team is very important to me. And so at work, I would talk about the gym, and the team that I was part of actually loved fitness quite a lot. There was some cyclists in my team, runners. Everyone was really into their fitness, and there was this one guy that I worked with, and he went to a CrossFit gym near me, and he suggested that I come give it a go because he was like, I think you'll love it. It's a great community, it's a great vibe, and you should just come give it a go. So I was like, you know what have I got to lose? I'm gonna go give CrossFit a go. And I went to CrossFit and I fell in love with it. It was really nerve-wracking, not gonna lie, because it can be quite intimidating, the skills involved, but I just threw myself in, and I was still a bit, more reserved. And I had a great background of strength from the gym, so it was more just a case of me learning how to do the movements and also putting myself through these WODs, which I'd never done before, which were intense, but I absolutely loved them. I loved that feeling of finishing them and feeling like I'd really done a workout and that my body had worked really, really hard. But it's always the running side of the workouts that I found the most challenging. I remember one of the guys saying to me that if I just focused a little bit on my running, I would improve so much, because I was really good at the barbell stuff and the burpees and the stuff in the gym, but it was just the running that kind of really held me back. And he said it in such a nice way, and I didn't really think too much of it. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to focus on my running, but I think subconsciously it inspired me to just try running and to give it a go, because running was always something that I thought I couldn't do. I'd tried to run with my friend back when I was 17, and it was horrible. I thought, why do people run? I knew that my mum would go jogging sometimes, but I always saw it as this like fat loss thing, not thing that's going to elevate your fitness. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try running. It was probably Stone subconsciously again. He probably told me what to do, though I can't really remember what he would have said, but he probably told me to start small, because he has literally been my mentor on this whole journey without me realizing. And so I would do 2K laps around the block, and it really started to help me with my mental health that I was struggling with at the time. It was a really tough time for me, I think, looking back, because I was just a bit lost in what I was doing. And I was in this job that I really didn't like. It didn't fulfill me, at this company that really didn't value me, and I wasn't good at the job necessarily. Like, I was struggling, and it just weren't feeling very seamless. I felt like I was out of my flow yet again, and running really helped me with that. But then COVID hit and that really flipped things into 360 for me. Me and Stone ended up moving out from living together because things were getting a bit challenging because we've been long distance for so long, and we thought we just need to go live separately for a bit and figure things out before we live together. So we moved out. I moved into the city centre. I sold my car, which meant that I had to leave my CrossFit gym because it was out of town. And I tried to find a new CrossFit gym in the city centre, and I just couldn't really find one that appealed to me, that I thought I'd make my new community. And then there was another girl that I worked with that I saw go to these F45 classes, which was functional fitness. It was a bit like CrossFit, but the gym looked really good fun. And you know me, I'm all about going where the vibes are. So I gave it a go. And yeah, fell in love with F45. I would go every day before work and then go to work. I would maybe also do a run. My 2Ks had built into 5Ks. My fitness was improving because I was doing F45. It was intense, it was challenging, and I was loving training again. And I remember one day at F45 saying to one of the trainers, "Oh, how amazing is it that you get to be other people's favourite part of their day?" And thinking back, that is kind of heartbreaking to me because I really was so unfulfilled in my job. I really didn't like my job, and training was my favourite part of my day. I thought, oh, how amazing would it be to be that person that gives to other people that favourite part of their day? Because I guess I just assumed that everyone was experiencing the same thing as me. I was new to the world of work. I thought everyone must hate their jobs and people just have fitness as that outlet, and that's just how I saw the world. I thought you couldn't love what you do. And I remember saying that. I don't even think the coach thought much of it. I think they probably wouldn't even remember me saying it to them. But it really stuck with me, and that's when I realised that I wanted to train to be a personal trainer, and I wanted to take this step out of the company I was working in, and I wanted to transition out of finance, and I wanted to eventually be a coach, but I didn't really know how to do it. So I moved into marketing at my company so that I didn't have to pay back the tuition fees that they'd spent on me in my role in finance, and I had to serve another year before I could leave without having to pay them back. So I moved into marketing, and also it was a safe bet. It meant that I could learn some more skills, and it was a great company for learning things like that. So I moved into retail marketing. Again, still wasn't that good at the job. It was hard, but also it was just quite overwhelming. It just wasn't what I absolutely loved. I did like the people side of it. I loved working with people, and that was always something that I realised. But eventually I'd done that for about a year and a bit, and then this role came up through someone I knew for Adidas. Actually, before that, I had just started coaching at a gym nearby to me, and I did feel quite out of my depth, but I was giving it a good go. I wanted to learn how to be a coach, and I remember also messaging F45 at the time being like, if you guys ever need a coach, please do hit me up, because I would love to work at that gym and be part of this great team that they had there. So I was getting some experience as a coach at this gym near me, and then this role came up for me to work as a product trainer for Adidas, which was a job that was 4 days a week and really flexible. And I thought, oh, the pay cut is quite a lot, but I mean, I wasn't on much at the Hut Group anyway, but it was quite a drop. But I did the maths, and I thought, if I can just do enough shifts at the gym, I'll make up for the money that I lose by going to 4 days a week. So I took this role as Adidas product trainer and used the extra time to start my online coaching and do these classes and teach these classes and pursue Instagram, because at the time I was earning a little bit on Instagram actually. So yeah, things were manageable, but they were a bit tight, I'm not gonna lie. So I did this role, and that opened me up even further into running. I started to meet proper runners, like Olympians and professional runners, and I looked after the football and running division. So football, yeah, is cool, but it was running that I was really drawn to, and I learned a lot about running really fast. And I would host trial nights for Adidas, and that's where I got introduced to the concept of a run club. I learned a lot from that time at Adidas, and it really made me into a well-rounded runner pretty quickly. And I think because I was talking about running every day, it was inspiring me to run more, and I just became a runner through this job and was absolutely loving it. And then it got to the point where I'd built up my clientele for coaching, and I was quite overwhelmed. I wanted to be a better coach. I wanted to take things to that next step. And so I thought I need to move to working for myself full time. And it was quite scary because I guess with every transition, you kind of taking that like cut, aren't you? This pay was, nice and secure. Did it anyway because I thought, what have I got to lose? It just about worked, and I'll make it happen. Oh, and before this point, I'd actually got the job at F45, that gym that I really wanted to work at actually. Yeah, I was working at 2 gyms, and I was coaching, and I was working this Adidas job. So yeah, I was just doing too much. I needed to go more into my own stuff if that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, I remember my first day of being self-employed and turning up to the gym to teach, and the owner of the gym said to me, "Today is a big day, Lauren, isn't it?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, it's my first day of self-employment." And he was like, "No, we've got this professional footballer coming to the gym who's like my icon, and we need to be on best behaviour for him." But he thought it was funny that I thought that he knew that it was my first day of self-employment. Because for me it was a big day, and I guess it was a doubly big day because, yeah, we had celebs in the gym that day. But I realised I veered off onto my career journey rather than my fitness journey. I guess they kind of come hand in hand, but between then and this point, I had started also doing high rocks and running more. I'd done 1 half marathon, and I was doing my second one very soon. And I also decided I wanted to start a run club when I left my other job. That was partly because Thursday nights for me were quite lonely. Stone would go to training with his team and I'd be on my own. So I thought, I want to get myself out there. I wanted to have my team. And so I created a run club, and that's my run club that I still have to this day, called Let's Run Manchester. If you're ever in Manchester, please do come. We run every Thursday at 6 p.m. and once a month on Saturdays at 8:30. Go follow us on Instagram. It is at Let's Run Manchester. We'd love to have you. We're a free run club. And yeah, so I started that run club. Everything just kind of started to click into place. I'd done 1 high rocks, 1 half marathon. I was about to do my second half marathon. My clients were doing well. I was going to have another client get together in the following December for another half marathon for me, but 10Ks for them. And yeah, I was just throwing myself into a year of fitness. My fitness really transformed that year. Doing that half marathon training block was really the push that I needed, though the half marathon training block that I did was literally like an 8-week program that was just on the notes on my phone, just working to distance, no pace or anything. I definitely would have done better with a 12-week training block. My body did feel bad off the back of it. But anyway, I did it and got it done, and yeah, I properly trained for the second half marathon, and my fitness rocketed. But I did high rocks again in the January. I was training for my first marathon. Last year I did multiple half marathons. I did my marathon. I did 4 high rocks. I did a lot. I also did an aquathlon. So I did a lot last year. My aerobic base was built. And now I feel like a very strong, well-rounded hybrid athlete. And not that I even like to call it hybrid athlete, because I think I always liked just feeling well challenged and having that competitive side to whatever I'm doing, and having a team. I think they're all very important things for me, and the run club and racing has really given me that. And I think now, like, I'm trying to create my own community with my run club, and I think that's just something that I've realised I've carried through my fitness career with me, and yeah, we're definitely not done. It's been a journey, and it's weird to look back and see all these things that I've done, because now thinking back, it doesn't feel like I put that much thought into it, but I know at the time everything felt so big and it felt so scary and it felt so new. And now when I look back, they're just like tiny little steps that have got me to where I am today. And if there's one piece of advice that I could give to someone maybe looking to train for their first HYROX, it would be to do a half marathon training block, or to just build up to being able to run for that period of time. You want to be able to use your heart for a good hour and a half, because that's the average time that HYROX takes for most people. And doing my first HYROX, it was very challenging. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done. My heart rate was in zone 5 for the entire time, and I was maxing myself out. But looking back, it just gave me that push that I needed to take me to the next level. And I think that's always something that I've loved, is the challenge, the pursuit of being better and doing better, and inspiring people to move their bodies in ways that helps them feel good and bring people together through fitness is underlying everything that I tried to do. So I guess that's my fitness journey / life story. I didn't realise it would turn into that, but let me know if you guys would like me to do a video a bit more focused around HYROX or racing or running, and I will definitely go into that in more detail. Please do just drop any questions in the comments. If you've made it this far, I love you so much. I appreciate you being here. I hope this video has given you something, especially entering into a new year. I know we can have so many goals for ourselves, but I think just knowing which ones are most important to you and that work for you in that moment are the ones that are gonna guide you in the right direction. So yeah, trust your gut, trust your heart, follow what feels right. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but yeah, I think sometimes I look back and I think, God, I never thought I would be in the position that I am now, working for myself, having a successful career, doing what I do. But persistence works in wonderful ways. You guys are also a big part of getting me to where I am today. I definitely don't take anything in life for granted. Happy 2025. Please do like and subscribe if you feel this video has been of value to you, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube. Bye.